Hi everyone, I'm here today with a book review for you. I received a free digital copy of this book from the publishers via NetGalley, and I gave this book 4 stars. So, All Four Down by MJ Arlidge is the 9th book in the D.I. Helen Grace series, which I own quite a few of, but haven't yet read. I want to point out right now that if you haven't read the rest of the books, or indeed don't intend to, that doesn't matter. You can totally read this one without having read those first. That said, I feel like it impacted my enjoyment of this book a little bit, in that I didn't know the investigating officers very well. I didn't know their personal relationships or alliances. And I felt like that came into play a little bit in the plot, and so it did annoy me slightly that I hadn't taken the time to read those first. So if you're someone who that might bother, you might want to work through the rest of the series first, but otherwise you will have a fine time reading this book on its own or first before reading any of the others, because I had a great time overall. So this is a crime mystery thriller novel where D.I. Helen Grace is hunting for another serial killer. This serial killer is very methodical and left me with chills. So the killer phoned someone 60 minutes before they're going to kill them, telling them that they have 60 minutes to live. The call always lasts 59 seconds or a minute, bang on, and it's just all so well thought out. I struggle to find fiction books that genuinely give me chills and that genuinely scare me deep down. It doesn't really happen. I usually have to get my thrills. This sounds terrible, but I usually find that non-fiction books scare me so much more than fiction books ever could. Yet this author managed to get me scared last night. I was reading this in bed thinking, I need the toilet. And I was feeling a bit too scared to go to the toilet because I was convinced that someone would be out there ready to strangle me. This book was clearly having an impact on me. I was just so freaked out. And this comes from the fact that the killer in this book is so stealthy. They get around so well, getting into places where you're like, how did they get there? How did they do that? And they often leave no trace of themselves. There's many a time where the police think that they're like seconds away from catching this killer, yet they've managed to completely poof into thin air, and it's like, how are they doing this? So it's amazing on that front. But as I said, it did, due to the atmosphere, leave me with chills and left me really genuinely quite scared. So this book is wonderfully paced. It was such an easy, joyful, fly-through kind of book, despite the fact that it's on the slightly lengthier side. And it kept me just wanting to turn the pages. I was like, I need to know what happens. I need to know whether this person's going to die. Oh my God, they've only got 60 minutes to live. I'm going to find out how they're going to die. I was just obsessed with this book. And so, yeah, as I said, I gave this 4 stars rather than 5. It was partly due to my own fault of not having read the series beforehand. It was also partly to do with something that happens towards the ending. I won't tell you exactly what happens towards the ending because it would be a massive spoiler, but to keep it basic yet providing enough information for you personally, I found something that happens towards the end ridiculously unrealistic. I also developed a little bit of a hatred for Helen throughout the book, which was amplified by this ending. Now, I don't know whether if I'd read the books previous to this one, whether I'd have liked Helen more as a result. I don't know. But in this book, she came off as incredibly unlikable to me. And by the ending, I was done with her. And then what happened in the ending bit was just end game for me. I was like, okay, this woman is actually doing my head in. This is unrealistic. And even if it was realistic, I don't believe for a second that she would be doing this. And it was a step too far. I just can't imagine anyone through any frame of remotely right mind doing what she did towards the end of this book. Okay, I can't even say that bit. I have just said something and cut it out because I think it's a spoiler, so I'm gonna have to leave my rant there. Let it be known that something in this ending really grinded my gears, and so yeah, I had to give this 4 rather than 5 stars. It didn't ruin the overall book for me, and as I said, the tension and the suspense and the atmosphere and just the writing in general blew me away and terrified me. It was just the ending, something in that ending that was just a step too far for me. So as I said, I really enjoyed this book. I'm going to be checking out the rest of the series as soon as possible, partly because I own a lot of them anyway and I've been meaning to pick something up by this author for so long, partly because I want to see whether Helen's really that horrible throughout the series, or whether I've just got her wrong in this book, or maybe she's having a bad time in this book. I don't know, because I've not got to know her through the previous books. But yeah, I will be eager to pick this up as soon as I can. So thank you so much for watching this review. If you've read any of the books in this series and have any thoughts on Helen especially, and how likeable or not you found her, please let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. But thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe by clicking the image of me if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!